Hello, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 4 of I See Bad Movies. As always, I am one of your hosts, Dave Keane, and I'm joined by the scintillating Emma.
Scintillating Emma Spicer.
Yeah, I went with scintillating today because scintillating Emma Spicer. It was in my head.
SES.
SES. Exactly. That's what I went with. So if you're new to us, if you've just happened upon our episode because you're really interested in the movie that we're going to watch and you found us because of it, that we are going to watch terrible movies, and every episode we're going to toss a coin and figure out if we're going to focus on the good bits
Or the bad bits.
or the bad bits. And what's even more amazing is the fact that we don't always cover the same topics. The topics that we cover are picked at random every week.
Yeah.
So you never get the same thing twice. And that's our excuse.
Sometimes you do get the same thing twice, to be fair.
Well, yeah, okay, fine.
You pick the same categories.
I'm just trying to entice new people in, Emma. They can figure out that we've lied to them in the weeks to come.
Once they've signed up to the Patreon.
Giving us all the hard, cold cash. Cold, hard cash. Hard, cold cash? No, I don't think that was. Shall we just get into it now?
Yes, we should.
Yeah, let's.
Otherwise we'll start talking about my dad's hair again.
Now, on the subject of your dad's hair,
Yes.
does it seem like he's growing it out at all for us?
Also, I did mention this on the Patreon, so sorry if you've already heard this, but just to point out that my parents have never listened to an episode of this, so there's support for you. But so, we're going to try and get my dad's 80s hair trending online and then see if he notices.
Yeah.
And if he notices, that means he's listened at some point or taken some notice at some point if he sees it.
Basically, we want your dad's hair to be more famous than us.
Hashtag Emma's dad's hair.
Which seems difficult. Yeah. Bring back Emma's dad's 80s hair. Definitely. Anyway, after that small advert for Emma's dad, who's available online, parties, Christmases, funerals, bar mitzvahs. Emma, we're going to watch a movie today.
Okay.
And I hope you're excited for it because today we're going to watch
CarousHEll.
CarousHEll. Small admission though, we have watched this movie before.
We have, yeah. So the same as last episode.
Yeah.
We have actually previously watched this when we just did this for fun. And we
Yeah.
didn't make a podcast about it. We just watched it for fun.
And just think,
And now we're doing it again.
people could have been listening to us for years.
They
Instead,
could have been, couldn't they? It's probably a blessing for them.
yeah, possibly a blessing. I was going to go the other way, that we were denying the world our thoughts on bad movies,
Yeah,
because
that's true.
there's not a lot of people talking about bad movies on the internet.
Is there not?
No, hardly anyone.
Okay.
So we've found a niche
Found a
that
niche,
no one else talks about bad movies at all. So anyway, for the benefit of our memories and the listeners, CarousHEll is a 2016 movie, and Duke, a carousel unicorn, breaks free of his carnival hell and embarks on a bloody rampage of revenge on humanity. There you go. That's it.
And you've just reminded me that the carousel unicorn talks. I'd totally forgotten that because it was quite a while ago we watched this.
Oh yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
2020, 2019 maybe?
Oh, that long ago?
No, maybe not that long ago. It was definitely... Oh no, it was in lockdown easing, wasn't it? When you could go to a friend's house and
watch bad movies. I think that was part of the regulations, wasn't it?
Yeah. You have to watch bad movies just to take your mind off things.
You can meet up if it's to watch bad movies, but...
No, yeah. There was one of those very
2 meters
specific,
apart.
clear rules that we had at the time.
Yeah.
You can...
Stay in, but you can go out if you're watching a bad movie, but go home again. Don't touch.
Yeah.
Work from home.
And definitely no parties.
Definitely no parties. Unless they're work meetings with wine and cheese.
Yeah, and bad movies.
And your wife's there and other people that don't work there are there, because...
That's okay.
That's some work meetings, isn't it, when people that don't work there come.
Welcome to I See Bad Politicians, the episode.
Oh, where do we start?
Let's flip a coin.
Let's not go down that little rabbit hole.
Yes is Labour, no is Conservative. Right, so let's flip the coin now and determine if we're going to be looking at the good or the bad of CarousHELL. And reading that synopsis, I can't imagine there's anything bad about it.
No.
Right, let's get this flipped. Now, Emma, you got it right last week.
Oh,
Can you get 2 for 2?
Don't give me that kind of pressure.
Bad? Bad? Yes!
Did I get it right again?
You got it right again. We are going to be focusing on the bad of I keep wanting to call it unicorn hell. It's CarousHELL.
I can't imagine that this is going to be scoring like Killer Sofa.
No, from what I remember of it's nowhere near as polished a film as Killer Sofa.
I think we'll have lots to talk about, but I don't think it's going to be up there with Killer Sofa.
Yeah, I feel like the bad is going to have a lot more.
Yes.
The good, I think we might struggle with. So actually, thinking about it, we were kind of lucky getting bad for this.
We were, but tough luck for anyone who's signed up to the Patreon.
Yeah.
That's the episode they'll be paying for.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But if not, we'll just talk about my dad's hair again, so that's fine. We can always fill in.
So we might be able to. We'll find something to
just
talk
how good
about.
it was when we were kids, because we like to do that sometimes.
Yeah, we do that. Yeah.
So yeah, basically the 80s is our theme, is our ongoing theme.
Yeah, we are with what you call boomers.
Yeah. So if you're an 80s child, then you'll enjoy it no matter what we talk about.
Yeah. And if you're not an 80s child, it's a history lesson.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a history lesson.
Before we had CDs and...
Oh, don't start. Don't start. Move on. All right, moving on. God, we nearly went down a very dark hole there, listeners.
It's one that I find hard to get out of as well.
Now what we're going to do is Emma's currently expertly fanning out the cards where I'll be picking the categories that we're going to be talking about. So I'm going to choose 5 categories. First one is death. Yes. From what I remember, there were definitely deaths in the last movie. Some of them might be good, some of them might be bad. Special effects. Very nice, special effects. Supporting cast.
Oh, we've not had that one for a while.
I don't think we've had supporting cast, if not for a long time. Definitely not this season.
I think we did have it last season.
Yeah. And I think it probably... Line. I know I ended like mid-sentence there, but you just wanted me to move on, pick cards, don't you?
Come on, get on with it.
Oh, an actress.
Oh, okay. I don't think we've had actress for a while either, have we?
No, we haven't. Definitely not since early in the first season. Death, special effects, supporting cast, line, actress, and the worst of them.
Yeah.
Should we go watch CarousHELL?
Let's do it.
Hello, and welcome back, everyone. Emma and we've just watched CarousHELL.
We have, and to be honest, I'm traumatised.
But traumatised in a good and bad way, I think.
Well, so apparently we watched the cut version before.
Yeah, it must have been cut.
And we've just watched the extended version without realising it, and it was a shocker.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah, I can guarantee you were definitely going to get into some detail about what we just seen.
Yes.
But not too much detail, because this isn't a XXX show.
Yeah, but I can say that we were both stunned into silence at one point, and that's not like us.
Oh yeah, I mean there were instances, because this went on for some time, and there was a moment I looked at Emma and she was wide-eyed staring at the screen, and Emma looked at me and I was doing the exact same thing.
Speechless, absolutely speechless.
Oh my god. All I can say is it's worth a watch. It's worth a watch. But maybe the edited version we saw.
I would say, having watched both, if you're going to watch this movie, you're going to have to watch the extended version.
It has to be, yeah.
Because, I mean, it will traumatise you, but there are things in there that did make it more interesting than the cut version, I guess. But
I suppose. Because what? I know for a fact we watched it first time on Prime.
Yes, and it wasn't available, was it? So,
yeah. We ended up watching it on PLEX through Prime still.
Yeah.
But it was just an app. It's just an app on the Fire TV. But yeah, PLEX, it was on PLEX. So if you've got access to Plex, because it's a free,
you can just download it for free.
just download it for free. It's a free service, but you will have adverts.
Yes.
And it was only like an hour and 20 minutes. That's including all the adverts.
Yes.
So it's a short
So
film.
it's a short movie, yeah.
And it disappears really quickly.
Yeah.
And I was worried because I was spending a lot of it making notes because I've got a lot of notes.
We've both got a lot of notes.
And I know there are things that we'll just want to talk about anyway. So shall we just get on with it? So,
I mean, forget the categories. We've just got to talk about one thing.
So anyway, how does a plastic unicorn actually do the deed? No. We'll get to this. Right. So let's talk about the synopsis, and I don't want to spend too long on the synopsis because basically. And we'll end up spending a long time on the synopsis anyway. It's just what happens.
But it's quite straightforward in terms of storyline, isn't it?
It is. So. Yeah, it absolutely is. So we start the story. We have Laurie's mum, and a kid called Lunchbox. I don't think we ever get the real name.
I don't think we get his real name, but she calls him Lunchbox, and it annoyed me the whole way through.
Yeah. And even adult friends called him Lunchbox as well at a later stage. So we meet them, and Laurie is told by her mother that she's got to work late at the office because there are people being stingy with their tips, and she basically is leaving the house in a stripper's outfit. Yes. But she tells Laurie that she's looking after Lunchbox today.
Yes. But
Laurie's upset because she's got a party this evening, and what's she going to do looking after Lunchbox all day? So her mother says take him to the fair, or it's not fair, it's a play.
Oh yeah,
it's
like a fairground.
It's like a fairground. It's not like Alton Towers theme park or anything.
No, but it's like a fair, like the fairs that travel round, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a travelling fair, isn't it? Yeah. So they take Lunchbox there. Oh God, Lunchbox! It's just what the hell. And why am I forgetting this already? So
we get to the fair and we get introduced to Duke.
Yeah. Well, we hear Duke talking.
Oh yes, before we see
like
him,
doing a voiceover and how he hates his job.
He hates his life. He hates his job.
And it's almost like they're talking about one of the clowns there. It's almost like
we do see the clown, don't we?
Yeah, we think, is this the clown? Because they focus on the clown a little bit, and then
it goes to the carousel, and it's the unicorn talking.
And starts saying things like, I'm stuck on this pole going round and round for hours on end.
And then he's saying things, he says something like, I work so hard for these people, and like they don't appreciate it or something. It's like, do you work hard? Because you're just stuck on a pole going round. You're not actually doing anything.
You're not actually going up and down. It's the mechanism.
You're not running around it. So, But he's just got a massive chip on his shoulder, basically.
Yeah.
He's woken up and chosen violence.
Yeah,
this particular day,
which makes me think of a lot of the workforce in the world at the moment.
Yes. And can you blame him?
No, absolutely not. I bet he's not even on minimum.
He's probably underpaid and overworked.
Underpaid,
like
overworked. What minimum wage would you get as a unicorn on a carousel?
I don't know if there is a level for unicorn. Is there? I know there's
there
certain age brackets.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you've got a unicorn tier. So I'm not sure. We'd have to Google it.
Maybe they get away paying them magic peanuts. Oh, sorry, that was awful. So he hates his job. Lunchbox gets on Duke and is abusive to him as well.
Yeah.
Which that's what sends Duke over the edge, and Duke detaches himself from the
really
carousel.
How, does it?
Yeah,
it's just
he's just detached.
Just breaks off of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and basically he goes on a murderous rampage. So Laurie is
obsessed
with not Twitter.
Oh,
it's called Chopper.
Chopper, yeah.
And you cheaps. You don't tweet tweets.
Yeah. But can I just say before you go any further? So when the unicorn gets off the carousel and you see him move, they haven't even tried to CGI his legs moving. Literally, it's like they've got a toy unicorn and just hopped it across the screen. So he's not. Sorry, my dog's got a weird habit of tipping out his food out of his bowl sometimes and eating it off the floor.
I've never seen him do that before. That's amazing.
I think it might be because his nose is too long for the bowl.
Oh, and his chin's too short. He's got a small bottom lip. Bless him.
Anyway, we digress. So you don't. So they didn't even bother to try and make it look like his legs were moving. He just kind of glides across the screen or hops across the screen.
Like in
And it's
like in Mary Poppins.
Yeah, a bit
when
like
they move
that.
along the screen on the car.
Or almost like those, like when you used to go to the fair when you were a kid, because we are old, and you used to get like the horse racing things.
Yeah.
And it was a bit like that, where they're like on a stick basically, and they're going. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was we're talking about special effects.
Yeah.
That
We
probably
will.
was one of the worst.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was awful.
So Laurie's trying to go viral. She's obsessed with social media and keeping her. I mean, there was one line that she said, and this isn't a good or a bad line, but she said basically, if I don't keep posting every 15 minutes, I'll be forgotten. Which, to be fair,
Quite true.
Probably quite true, yeah. Which reminds me, I really need to do a lot more social media for the podcast. But so she wants to do that. She's got a boyfriend who works at the fair.
Yes.
And again, completely inappropriate. I mean, is like properly heavy petting in the car with him at one point.
She gets in the car with him. Her little brother is on the back seat.
Yeah.
And it's broad daylight with people walking past.
Yeah.
And he says something about trying to have sex with her, doesn't he? I can't remember what his exact word was.
Yeah, only has 15 minutes as well, and
to try and basically to try and have sex with her, and the little brother's in the back, and it's broad daylight, and there's people walking past, and it's like, no.
And she's also tweeting about it.
Yeah.
It's all very bizarre.
Yeah.
So, like, Duke kills the clown, one of the clowns at the fair.
Yes, he does.
And then he kills the boyfriend when he gets out of the car to go back to work. Because Duke basically wants to kill Lunchbox for being disrespectful.
Yes.
So they.
But why doesn't he go straight to Lunchbox then? Because Lunchbox is in the car.
Well, that's the thing. Lunchbox is in the car, but he kills Laurie's boyfriend. But while he's killing Laurie's boyfriend, they just drive off because they don't even realise he's dead.
Oh yeah, of course.
But they just drive off. But he obviously he takes down the license plate and he follows in the general direction. The dog's getting in the bin.
But he's just out to kill, isn't he? That day he's just woken up and gone, right, I'm going to kill everyone.
And ultimately, I mean, apart from a couple of like adventures along the line, he gets to this party that Laurie was going to with Lunchbox, and he hangs outside it for quite some time, figuring out how to get in.
Yeah,
but just keeps killing people outside.
Yeah.
And we meet a lot of weird characters at the party.
The party is it looks like the most unfun party. Is that a word, unfun?
Unfun? Yeah, it is now.
This party does not look fun at all. There's not even any music. I think there is some music really low, isn't there? Weird music, not party music. And then there's a character that I think is meant to be like Stifler from American Pie.
100%.
That kind of vibe.
100%.
But he is just so irritating, and he's just going around asking everyone to see their boobs, basically, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, successfully in some cases.
Yeah. So
other cases, he gets tased.
So at one point, he's seen 7 boobs at this party, which did spark up a conversation about why there was an odd boob that he'd seen. And then I asked David what would be better, one mono boob, or if someone had 3 boobs, like on Total Recall. And David's answer was...
I think this is a very logical answer if you think about it. If you've got 3 boobs and you've only got 2 hands, then there's 1 boob, like, going spare and missing out.
Your cleavage idea.
Yeah. Oh yeah, let's keep it PC.
You could get away with it.
Yeah, but you could kind of get away with it because you could tuck the middle boob down and the left and the right boob could come up and over, giving you lift and cleavage.
David is doing the actions as we talk. He's holding breasts as we speak.
I'm holding my own breasts, may I add. Hello, Emma's mum and dad. But so you could do that, but if you've only got 1 uni boob in the middle, Emma, your solution to get yourself a cleavage
was to contour it with makeup. I mean, there's some very clever makeup artists out there.
I don't doubt.
If you've got like a V-neck top, and you get a bit of contour going on, nobody would ever know.
Yeah, but what do you do with like the profile?
Pad it out a little bit. You can get like the chicken fillets that you put in your bra. They could do that.
Chicken fillets. You'd need 2 rotisserie chickens on either side to make that work.
Depends how big your boobs are, doesn't it?
I just really
Depends
want
how big your boob is.
I don't know if I think I'm actually at the moment I would be thinking I think I'd prefer rotisserie chickens than 3 boobs now.
That's the other option.
Let's just have some rotisserie chicken.
Go with chicken. You can't go wrong with chicken. Anyway, this guy's seen 7 boobs.
He's seen 7 boobs.
Somehow he's seen 1 odd boob.
It could also just be the fact that someone's only flashed him one of her 2.
Yeah. That's why. It'd be really awkward to try and get 1 boob out and cover the other one up, wouldn't it? And if you show
I would just like to point out that Emma's now doing the actions.
They come in pairs as well, so if you're showing one, the other one looks pretty similar, so you might as well show both.
Oh dear.
It's not like you've saved your dignity, is it? By going, but you haven't seen the other one.
That's my special one.
Not everyone gets to see that one.
I'm saving that for the man I love. Sorry, what film are we talking about?
There's so much to talk about, and we're talking about the boobs, so let's move on. So,
yep.
Yeah. Oh, and then there's also at this party, so there's just a really random group of people at this party. There's not that many people there, is there? It's not like a packed house, is it?
It's not packed.
It's not like the parties you see on things like American Pie, where it's like absolutely rammed, packed full of kids, there's loud music, there's loads of stuff going on. It's a really boring party.
Oh, it's 100% boring.
Only a few people there.
And no one there seems to like each other.
Or know each other that well.
Yeah.
And then they order pizzas.
Oh, God,
So you've got the pizza delivery guy who delivers the pizza, but then no one pays him. So he just kind of ends up staying for the whole party, just keep asking for his money. And we're like, why has this guy got such a big part in this movie? And then...
Surprise. The pizza delivery guy is the guy that wrote and directed the movie. So he's given him... Yeah. He's also got the biggest part.
Yeah. So at first I thought he was supporting cast, but actually he's one of the main...
Yep.
One of the main characters.
And he makes it quite far through the film, but spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoilers. He does make it quite far through the film. So lots of hijinks ensue at this party. The Duke is outside killing people left, right and centre, trying to get in. People inside are playing little party games and we're getting to know the characters and pretty much hate all of them as well.
Yeah.
But Duke makes his way in by ringing the doorbell and and just basically them opening the door to him and the person hosting the party, Diana, is obsessed with unicorns.
Yes.
So she's absolutely like in 7th heaven.
Yeah, she's like, someone's delivered a unicorn.
Yeah, this unicorn's turned up. So obviously, straight in the house.
Don't question it at all. Don't think, why is there a unicorn? And a massive unicorn as well, like on my doorstep.
And also, where are all the dead bodies gone?
Oh, yeah.
Because there's easily 3 or 4 dead people outside now.
He kills people outside, but then the dead bodies aren't there. Yeah, that's true.
Has he eaten them all? Or have they just disappeared like magic?
Who knows?
Who knows? I don't think. The thing is, I don't think even the filmmakers knew. So they just, oh, those dead bodies aren't on set today, so we'll make nothing of it. So Duke gets invited in, he's just dragged in, and he plays the part of just a unicorn for a while. And we get a montage.
We get a montage, yes. And it's like, so, you know, the end of The Hangover, where you get all of the photos of what they've been up to.
Yeah.
It's like that, but it's not photographs. It's actually them, like, playing it out. But it is like them doing all different, having fun with the unicorn, basically, like partying with the unicorn.
But we don't quite see the real fun that you can have with the unicorn yet, do we?
No, we do not.
We do not.
This is just scratching the surface at this point.
So they decide, I don't know why they decide this, but I don't know, maybe it's taking up too much room in the party or whatever, but they decide to put the unicorn up in Diana's bedroom, the host's bedroom.
No, they decide to take it up there, or...
Yeah, they decide to take it up there.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they take it up there, and I don't quite know why, just to get it out of the way.
Okay.
Well, also to set up the next scene.
Yeah.
Because they're like there's all these different conversations between the pizza guy and Laurie, because now Laurie's trying to...
Oh, she's trying to sleep with the pizza guy, even though she's got a boyfriend and she doesn't know her boyfriend's dead at this point.
Yeah, she doesn't know he's dead.
I don't think she ever finds out that he's dead.
No, she doesn't. No, she never finds out. Never gets a clue of it.
She thinks he's at work still.
Yeah. And because he's working for 30 hours, the next 30 hours, she's free to do
Is it not 13 hours? Surely he's not working for 30 hours.
Maybe it was 13 hours
There's
then.
laws against that.
Because I did think 30 hours. Wow.
I think it was 13.
Right.
And so she was okay to sleep around with other people because he's at work. That's the rules, apparently.
That's the rules.
So
if only I'd known.
So she's desperately trying to sleep with the I'll just gloss over that.
Yeah, fair enough.
She's desperately trying to sleep with this pizza boy, and he's not getting it at all, is he? She's literally like pretty much saying, "Have sex with me," and he's just like later on in the film is like, "You were just talking about pizza the whole time." It's like, "Oh, come on."
Oh, it is literally how she says it comes up in one of my bad lines as well. You got that same one as well. Yeah. It's a real doozy, that one.
Also, it's worth mentioning there are a French couple. Well, two people.
Oh yeah,
I assumed they were a couple to start with.
Yes.
It turns out they're French Canadian.
Yeah.
Because this comes up in the when they're playing the game Never Have I Ever. There's a bit of a scene after the one we're going to talk about next. There's a bit of a scene with them, isn't there, as well?
Oh God!
It's just
If you thought the attic was bad.
Yeah. So is it when Laurie's trying to go upstairs with the pizza boy? She's trying to go upstairs with him, and then
Diana passes them on, and they're like, "Diana, where are you going?" She's like, "Oh, I'm just going to go upstairs and."
And then it dawned on me, because it's quite a while ago we watched this movie. It dawned on me that I know what she's going to do next, and I was already like, "Ooh!" And then this is where we've got the extended version.
Yeah.
We didn't see it in graphic detail before.
No, we did not.
Tonight, and
but
I'm having nightmares.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. It was somewhere between softcore porn and hardcore porn.
Yeah.
You did not see. You saw boobs. That's it. But it was. I mean, it was
you
very.
Saw boobs. So
you saw boobs.
She walks into the room, doesn't she? And the unicorn's in the corner, and she starts talking to it like.
She's like, she's really like.
She's up for it. She's
like, you're so beautiful. Oh, you're so sexy.
And it's like her dream come true. And actually, during the scene, it does pan across the wall. And there's like little kids' drawings of unicorns.
Oh yeah, she's well into unicorns.
But yeah, she starts off by getting undressed, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So yeah, she's down to her underpants,
which are covered in unicorns.
Which are covered in like little kids ones, which I thought just made it really sick.
Yeah, just not right.
So she's got like this. They're kind of like boxer briefs. She's just got those on. So she's at one point she's just kind of kneeling on the bed, and you can see her boobs. Then then when she gets down and kisses the horse?
Yeah.
Kisses the unicorn. And then starts doing this really weird like thing, just licking it, but like really kind of going for it. She's licking the like unicorn's mouth.
Yeah.
And then she gets on the bed and starts like pretty much saying to him, come then, let's do this kind of thing.
Let's get on with it.
And I thought, because when we watched it before, we didn't even see that far, did we?
No,
we just literally saw her go into the room, and then we saw the afterwards.
I'm sure there was nothing that graphic.
Afterwards, regretting her decision.
That's right.
But we saw a full-blown sex scene, and it just kept going and going and going, and we were like, when is this going to end?
There's so many different positions.
It was loads of positions, and
I didn't even know that many positions existed.
Well, you do now.
No, I do.
And David is single, by the way, everyone.
I said, I'm taking notes, not for the podcast.
It was just ridiculous. And all it made me think of, I've just said to you, all it made me think of was Team America, the sex scene in Team America, because when I first watched that, when it was like alluding to sex, I was like, it's puppets, surely they're not going to do a sex scene. And then I was absolutely pissing myself all the way through because they actually did. And they did loads of positions. Like, it was hilarious.
Yep.
And that's what it made me think of when I was watching this. I mean, it's worth watching just for the sex scene alone, I'd say, this movie. You have to watch the extended version.
And not normally do I recommend a movie because of the sex scene.
No, but it's not a sex scene. But
this time just for the sheer hilarity of it, it's definitely worth. Wait,
there is a line as well.
Is this actually happening?
Yeah, but they're actually like, she's really going for it as well.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
She's not holding back.
No, yeah, absolutely. I said to you, kudos to her for that.
Yeah.
How awkward a scene must that be to shoot and film with loads of people sitting around watching it,
And,
changing camera angles, changing position, just,
And it's difficult. It must be difficult enough to do a sex scene with another person, but to do it with an object. Well, like actors have to do it with each other, and it must be really awkward.
Although, to be fair, for some actors, they're probably just more wooden than the unicorn.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely worth it. What were you saying? There was a line?
There was a line in that scene that we'll talk about later. But yeah, from the sex scene that I just couldn't get over.
Oh, right, okay. We will make sure that one is covered over for us. So after the sex scene, yeah, we have a little, shall I say, is it a contretemps? Is that with the French Canadian brother and sister / couple?
They're outside of the bedroom in the hall, and they start kissing. And oh my goodness!
Oh, they don't just start kissing. The sister says, "I can't wait any longer, brother. I have to have you."
Yes, so they're clearly going to go and have sex, but the kissing.
Oh my God!
I was not kissing. I mean, if someone kissed me like that,
I don't think I'd ever. I don't think if anyone tried to kiss me like that, I think honestly I would never kiss anyone ever again.
Yeah, I think I'd be celibate.
Yeah, that's it.
The rest of my
I'd
life.
just give up on any sexual relations.
At
forever.
one point, it was literally like her mouth was in one position. He was kind of just off of her mouth, on sort of somewhere near her cheek, just jabbing his tongue in and out on her face.
But his mouth was wide open.
Yeah,
and his tongue
weird.
jabbing.
It wasn't even in her mouth. It was just like next to her mouth, just jabbing her face with his tongue. It was disgusting.
You'll be glad to know, dear listeners, that I stopped taking notes by that point.
What not to do.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so anyway, so the...
so they get...
the sex scene's over.
Sex scene's over. So Diana's murdered by...
Yes.
Duke as well.
No, this is what we saw last time. So we saw her go into the bedroom.
Yeah.
Then we saw Duke with a camera around his
and he was
and he was taking pictures, and she was laying on the floor like embarrassed about what she'd just done, as you would be if you just had sex with your carousel unicorn. I imagine.
I don't know. There's some people I've had sex with that I'm more embarrassed about. Oh no.
Oh yeah, probably all of us can say that. So she's really embarrassed and regretting what she's done, and he's taking pictures, and then so they have a bit of a falling out, and then he murders her in the most. That's in my worst death, so we'll talk about that.
Okay.
But in the most ridiculous way, and then he goes outside and just kills the French people.
Yeah, that's
for
it.
No
They're
reason,
dead. Just dead.
Yeah.
He's
And then he
really
just goes
got it
around
in
and
for
kills a
people.
few more people, doesn't he? And then, and then it's.
Well, he goes. They're talking downstairs in the party. They're like, I mean, it's just a nothing conversation. There's nothing interesting happening. Pete the pizza guy is trying to get him to pay for the pizzas still
there, yeah.
And there's nothing really happening. The Stifler character all of a sudden is stabbed through the chest by an arrow.
Oh, that's it. So he gets hold of a bow and arrow from somewhere and manages to... It's just kind of wrapped around his head, but he's managed to shoot it somehow.
Yeah. We just have to assume that even though the unicorn isn't moving, that he's still doing all these things.
And they've just kind of draped the bow over his head, haven't they? So it's like you couldn't shoot it anyway. And then, he kills the Stifler character. I can't remember what his name was. Can you?
Stifler Mark II.
and then is the next person to die the guy that punches the arrow out of the way?
No, but the next person to die is a woman that's been plagued by Stifler all night to show her boobs, and she hasn't.
Yes.
And at different times, it's through the neck.
Oh, who's the one that gets shot in the boob?
It's just a woman that I don't think I'd seen at the party before.
Oh, okay.
She just gets like the camera follows the arrow and points directly down her cleavage before you see, obviously.
But you don't have time to see if it's a mono boob or three boobs.
No, I cannot tell if it's just a really good makeup or not. It doesn't matter now.
Or your classic two boobs, it could be.
It doesn't matter now, because if it was just a mono boob, it's been separated by the arrow.
Yeah, exactly.
So now it's two boobs.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Like worms.
She finally got her two boobs, but she was dead, so she couldn't enjoy them.
Oh,
What a
the
shame for
irony. Isn't it ironic? When you got one boob and all you want is two.
And then someone shoots you.
And they're a unicorn. Alanis Morisette is turning in her grave.
This episode might be quite unhinged because we've got a lot to get through.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and then when does the guy punch the arrow out of the way then? Because one guy just punches, if the arrow comes towards him and he punches it out.
Yeah, I called him Angry American Guy because he's very angry about America.
Hated the French, he was very racist.
Hates the French, hates Canadians, hates...
Oh yeah, because it was almost worse when they said they were French Canadian.
Yeah.
He already hated them being French.
Damn Canadians.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, he punches an arrow out of the air. And then he goes and punches punches the unicorn, and I want to talk about his death later. In Bad Deaths as well. But yeah, he dies, and it's not looking good for Pete, Laurie, and Lunchbox because they're the only people left now.
Yeah.
They escape the house, and Laurie goes, "Oh no, someone's blocked us in."
Yeah.
With her car, and Pete, the pizza guy's like, "We'll just take mine," and like. Well, sorry, Pete, for thinking about using her own car. She's not going to think about your car, is she?
Yeah.
She's not going to put... Anyway, that's a very specific bone to pick on that one for me. And I just remember thinking, oh, you dick. Anyway, they get in the car, go to drive away, but the car doesn't start because Duke's already taken the spark plugs out of the engine.
Yes.
So that car won't start. That won't work.
Which sounds quite fiddly for someone with hooves, but
yeah,
he's done it somehow.
He's done many other things. He's satisfied a woman, for goodness sake.
With his wooden mouth. And he didn't have a penis. That popped out somewhere. We don't know where.
Don't say penis popping out. just.
But he hasn't got a penis the rest of the film, has he?
We don't know.
Oh, you don't see it when he's on the carousel. They don't tend to give them genitalia, do they?
Well, that'd be really weird though if they did, wouldn't it?
It's a kid's ride.
Come right on my carousel. It's anatomically correct.
So yeah, it does make the sex scene a bit questionable. It's only that makes it questionable.
Okay, it does.
But do watch it just for that because if we had to see it, so have you.
You too will wonder if plastic unicorns have penises. Well, anyway, Laurie, Pete, and Lunchbox run back into the house, and Lunchbox's only job is to shut the front. Oh no, Laurie Macy's Duke, the unicorn. She maces him.
Yeah.
And he's got plastic eyes. Why does mace work?
I know.
And to be fair, I said that to you. Yeah. How did that work? And then, like, literally, it cuts to Pete and Lunchbox.
You said to me, how does that work on a? Is he wooden or plastic? I don't know.
I assumed wooden at the time.
And I said, how does it have sex?
Yeah. And to be honest, we didn't question it. Why would I question it in a movie like this?
Yeah.
But then it does cut to Pete and Lunchbox both looking at each other and going, I didn't think that would work. Well done, movie makers, for calling me out without me even realising it. So they run back into the house at that point because Duke is incapacitated. They lock up the house, apart from Lunchbox doesn't lock the front door, but it doesn't matter because in walks Cowboy Cool.
We haven't talked about Cowboy Cool, have we?
Cowboy Cool.
So he's in it from the beginning, isn't he? We see him from the beginning.
Yeah, and the thing is, I didn't think twice about Cowboy Cool at the beginning. I just thought he was a character at in the carnival.
Yes.
But when he finds out that the unicorn is missing, we see him go and retrieve a special gun from a ball pit, might I add.
Oh, yeah.
The gun was in a case in a kid's ball pit.
Yeah, that's safe.
I'm just going to say, typical Second Amendment lover. Proper gun responsibility.
Yes.
Gun owner responsibilities, please. Not in a case in a ball pit.
So can we just describe Cowboy Cool though?
Cowboy Cool.
Cowboy Cool has like this massive head that looks like Frank Sidebottom, the guy from the movie that is based on an actual guy, isn't it?
Yeah, so he's Frank Sidebottom's like a stand-up, a comedian character, comedy character.
Yeah, musician, artist, comedian. And if you Google Frank Sidebottom, you'll see what I mean. But it was like a big, ginormous, like it wasn't head masher though, was it? It was like it almost looked like
it was like a big foam head.
Yeah, so he was wearing this big foam head and
didn't take it off the whole movie.
Explanation for that?
Yeah.
Was there?
No, I don't think there was. It was just Didn't take it off. Had great big foam hands as
I
well.
thought he was like looking out for the.
Yeah. So
unicorn.
he says, I was charged with. Keeping people safe from this unicorn. Now he's escaped. He gets his special gun with special bullets that will kill the unicorn. And yeah, that's it. So that's his job.
Yeah, it doesn't explain. But why would he exist to look out for Duke when no one knew that Duke was?
Yeah, exactly.
Did they know that he talked and that he was going to one day escape?
That's my thought, is that Duke is actually some sort of like known entity that's, I don't know, either been trapped inside a unicorn or is the unicorn that's been trapped in a carousel instead.
Oh, okay.
They
didn't. Yeah. So when we watched Killer Sofa, that was very clearly this is like an evil spirit that's got into people and then they've got into the sofa and blah blah blah.
Yep.
This wasn't. They didn't allude to that. It was just like he was. He was just an evil unicorn that went on a rampage.
Yeah. And you know what? I don't think I need an explanation for this film.
I think if we're going to ask for an explanation, we need an explanation for that sex scene, first and foremost. Let's not worry about the fact that he's a
I mean, that's just
unicorn.
so I can complete my notes. How did you do that? And I'm not going to lie, it was the bit where, I don't want to be graphic here, but she's bent over and then you just see the hoof on her back and her pushed down. And it was just like, that was unexpectedly hot. I'm joking.
I wasn't thinking that.
Oh, just me then. And every other red-blooded person watching it.
But isn't that the saying? Like when people are single for a long time and it's like, you know, you're looking for a unicorn kind of thing because you want a perfect person.
You want that perfect.
She literally found a unicorn.
She literally did. But she wasn't single.
The party host.
No, the party host was Preston. Preston was the name of the Stifler guy. That was her boyfriend.
Oh, was that her boyfriend?
Yeah.
You couldn't tell because he was going around looking at everyone else's boobs.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realise he was her boyfriend.
He was no unicorn.
I just assumed he was single, but...
He was absolutely no unicorn, was he?
No, he was not.
No. So Cowboy Cool, his only job is to defeat and stop Duke the unicorn.
Yes.
That's his only job. So he's shit at it.
Completely shit. He lets him get out of the fair for quite a while before gets to him.
Takes ages to track him down.
Yeah.
Right. Then he gets Laurie, Pete, and Lunchbox out of the house.
Yeah.
Or in the house. They're still in the house.
They get in the car, don't they? Oh, they come back in the house.
No, Pete dies.
Oh yes, Pete dies. Yeah.
The doorbell rings. Lunchbox goes to answer the door because through the door they shout, "Pizza guy." Or whatever, and it's Duke the unicorn. So
as if you'd answer the door though. Look, you've just got rid of a murderous unicorn.
But Emma, the movie needs to happen.
And you're not thinking about pizza when you're trying to stay alive.
Maybe that's why he's called Lunchbox. Because he just keeps wanting food put inside him.
He does at one point eat out of the bin, which is disgusting. Yeah. But yeah, this
Pete sacrifices himself to save Lunchbox. And because Duke the unicorn uses a pizza slice to slash up Pete's face.
Oh, that's in the deaths.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Spoiler alert.
Could you please ignore that, what I just said, everyone?
Just cut that.
What I'll do is I'll just talk over it more with the unicorn sex scene, and people won't notice. So yeah, Pete dies. How, we don't know.
We don't know. That's the mystery. Stay tuned if you want to find out how.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But Lunchbox and Laura run somehow, and they run and hide in the closet upstairs.
Oh yes.
That's why. And so what Cowboy Cool then starts to try and deal with Duke the unicorn.
Yes.
But Duke hides.
Oh.
Duke hides. He hides as what does he hide as first?
A lamp, doesn't he?
He has a lampshade on top of his head.
I mean, you can, and then he's behind the curtains, but he's literally like the middle of his body's covered by the curtain.
And the rest of him sticking out. And Cowboy Cool walks past. Maybe if Cowboy Cool took that massive fake head off,
he might be able to see what he's doing. He might be better at his job.
So Cowboy Cool, who's got this special gun to kill the unicorn, ends up just getting an axe buried in his back, and that's him done.
Yeah.
So Duke then goes upstairs and he's like, "Oh God, you've hidden inside a cupboard. What a typical thing to do in a horror movie or something like that." Because he's very like self-aware of the whole thing's going on. And it looks like he's just about to kill. No.
They come outside,
they get outside again, don't they?
They get outside, and then all of a sudden he's got laser beam eyes.
Yeah, laser beam eyes.
And,
and again, I mean, I don't want to spoil anything for a death.
Freaking laser beams.
Unicorns.
I want unicorns with freaking laser beams attached to their heads.
We have mildly, what is it?
I'm still alive, I'm just very badly burned.
I think I can smell almonds. Oh dear. They're always after me, Lucky Charms. Oh, this is not the I quote Austin Powers podcast.
It's not, is it? So let's carry on.
But he has
freaking laser beam, freaking laser beam eyes.
And Laurie dies, but I'm not going to say how because I don't want to spoil the bad death.
Brilliant. Yeah, we'll talk about that one.
Is that going to be a good death? I don't know. I can't remember what I put
I
down
think
as
it's
in
a
my
good one,
notes.
so you might have to join us on the flip side for that one.
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
Just for the sheer length. And change, it changes, and it's the best one.
Actually, in my notes.
And you see it all.
In my notes, I'm not going to lie, I put it down under bad. I put it down under bad special effects.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I put it under bad special effects.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but I do have a second one for bad special effects that I'll talk about. Oh, if you want to know how Laurie dies, you're going to have to join us on the flip side. That's the deal.
It's good. It's worth it.
That's the deal. But, by this point, there's 9 episodes on the bonus on the flip side.
There's quite a few.
So, you'll get your money's worth if you sign up for 1 month.
Might encourage my dad to join. If I said there's 9 episodes on there.
No, you can't join because he'll have to pay for haircuts to keep that luscious mane.
No, he doesn't have to pay for haircuts. He needs to grow it. It's short at the moment. He needs to grow his 80s hairdo back.
So
and he's retired now, so he's got loads of time to listen to this. No excuses.
None at all.
He should be listening to it right now on his cruise.
He's on a cruise?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, the retired life.
I know, and then they get back and 4 weeks later we go on holiday.
Oh, God. Jet setting?
I know.
Wow. Apart from the fact you're on a cruise, you're not jet setting on a cruise. I get that, but you get my point. You get my point. Right. Where was I?
So, laser beam eyes.
Laurie's dead.
She's
because
dead.
Of laser beam eyes.
Oh, and then...
How specifically?
Lunchbox has to run.
Well, Lunchbox is nearly killed by Duke. So Duke's on his way to kill him, but Cowboy Cool turns up, throws an old lasso onto Ted Lasso. That's me going Ted Lasso. Throws a lasso on Duke and then shoots him with the gun. And and Duke spots out rainbow-coloured unicorn blood. Yeah. And
why has he got blood when he's
that's the
made
end
out
of
of wood
Duke.
or whatever? Yeah.
But also, Cowboy Cool finally dies, but tells...
I can't remember how he dies.
Oh, because of the axe wound. He just ends up dying because of that.
He was just limping along with it, and then all of a sudden he's dead.
And then Lunchbox gets really annoyed because he has to walk a mile home.
Yeah.
But the next scene, Lunchbox is clearly not happy about having walked quite so far home. But
he's walking like he pooed himself, basically, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He's only walked a mile, for goodness sake. It's not...
Yeah,
it's not that far.
I'm pretty sure that, I did a big walk, something like 50 kilometres. I say something like, it was 50 kilometres. I'm just being like, I did something like 50 kilometre walk. And I was not walking like I shit myself.
No.
The next day, however, I was, but not that same day. But yeah, he gets all excited because he sees a car turning up and he thinks it's...
Yeah.
I don't know who he thinks it is, but he gets really excited by it. But it's Duke, and he runs him over.
It's Duke. I did remember, as the car came towards him, I did remember that scene from watching it before. It's Duke in a Jeep, so he's smoking a cigarette, Do you know what that reminded me of as well? I don't know if you've ever seen any of Eddie Izzard's stand-up, like his old stand-up.
Yeah.
There's a bit he does about the Queen, and he's like, it must be amazing to be the Queen. You can just do whatever you want, and you can just be speeding, and they pull you over, and you're like, fuck off, I'm the Queen. And that's so I just thought of that, because I thought that's what it'd be like if you was a unicorn riding around. Who's going to stop you doing whatever the hell you want?
What are you going to do? They're not in the system.
There's not a unicorn jail. It's not. You can't trial them in court.
No,
it'd be laughed out of court. What, you've got a unicorn coming next? No.
Who would want to be the judge on that?
Nobody would believe you.
You're quite right.
You can't.
Imagine,
the paperwork wouldn't get through. It'd be like,
yeah,
Miss Duke the Unicorn. No.
Imagine saying, I'm sorry, boss, I've got weeks worth of jury duty because I'm sitting on the jury for a unicorn. You'd be sacked.
Exactly.
It'd be
He
thrown
can do what he
out.
wants. Fuck off, I'm a unicorn.
The district attorney would look at that case and just be like, nah, ain't happening. It's out.
Yeah, well, of all the excuses you've come up with to get out of work.
Tell you what, being a unicorn has its benefits.
Yeah.
Next time I rock up here, I'm going to be a unicorn. That's it. I'm going to be fully dressed as a unicorn.
Okay.
I will mould myself into the shape of a unicorn.
I think there are specialist...
maybe I've taken my notes a little bit too
thing.
seriously. No, maybe I won't.
Yeah, so basically he mows him down.
Reverses over him.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of the movie.
And then drives off into the sunset. It's not the end of the movie.
Well.
But we're going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about that because... Do we want to talk about it now?
Do we want to talk about it?
I don't know, because I've
had
amazing idea.
Had an idea, premonition, if you will. It ends up being a premonition. I had an idea that for a sequel, what could happen? But there was a bit at the end or mid-credits, wasn't there?
Yeah.
A scene that we hadn't seen before. That was extra as well.
Indeed it was.
And then it just confirmed what my idea was. So I kind of feel like I've been robbed, even though they had the idea first.
How dare they?
Yeah, so should we spoil it? I mean, if you watch the movie, you're going to see it. If you watch the extended one, you're going to see it. So basically, I had an idea part of the way through the film.
I mean, I would just like to point out, we have told everyone that who's died as well.
Yeah, exactly. So
and you're like, should we spoil it?
I think we've already done that. Yeah, so I had an idea after the sex scene that I said to David, imagine if she got pregnant from that sex scene and then got pregnant with a baby / carousel unicorn, and then that was born and that went out on a killing rampage, Carousel 2.
Yep.
What happens in the mid-credits?
Cue the mid-credit scene. Laurie's mum turns up at the party house because she's been hired as a stripper for the party that her daughter and son are at. And she turns up and sees everyone dead, right, in the house. She doesn't see Laurie dead outside. She sees loads of people dead in the house. And she makes her way upstairs and literally opens up a door, and there's a strange rumbling in a dead stomach. And then, I mean, you see quite gory looking unicorn / human baby hybrid.
It's not really / human though, is it? It's just like a little baby unicorn, like a carousel unicorn,
it looked a little bit like human shape-ish, but it had a unicorn head and kind of arms.
Oh, okay.
Like horse legs.
And it was all covered in blood. But also, she'd had sex about 20 minutes ago. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I don't think you can produce a child that quickly.
I'm afraid you do not know how magical unicorn semen is.
I don't know how long the gestation period of a unicorn is, but a human is 9 months.
There's definitely magic
And if it's a hybrid, it'd have to be sort of 4 months-ish. Even if a unicorn's really quick, it'd have to be somewhere in the middle, wouldn't it, of a unicorn and a human?
I mean, I don't know what the gestation period of a horse is.
No. Well, a unicorn could be different to a horse because it's a unicorn. It's magic.
Yeah. Then like, how do you...
But also, how
do unicorns give birth with like fully... I mean, I know unicorns don't exist, but like fully like...
No, they must grow as they get older. Surely
they must grow, yeah. It's like, have you ever seen horses' hooves when they're first born?
No.
They harden up over time, but they're like a weird sort of like hairy looking thing.
Yeah.
It's very strange. But yeah. Maybe that's what happens with the horns. Maybe they're just like a floppy horn, and only when they get a bit older do they... I realised I said the phrase floppy horn.
But also they're a mythical creature, so we don't really need to worry about that too much, do we?
We don't. But did you know the unicorn, right?
Yes, I know. It's the national animal of Scotland, isn't it?
And how do you know?
Because
I go on about it a lot.
no, I'll tell you how I know, actually.
Oh, go on.
This is a shout out to Nick, if Nick does listen. Not Nick who does Poisonous Cabinet. Nick Clayton.
Oh, okay.
We were at work one day, very, very busy, obviously, and for some reason Nick was looking... I can say this because Nick doesn't work there anymore. He was looking up national animals for different countries. For some reason, I can't remember why the conversation started, but him and Will, who also used to work there, who doesn't work there anymore, had a very productive afternoon. And they used to sit behind me and they were looking up the national animals for different countries. And yeah, the unicorn, and there's dragon is Wales, isn't it?
Yes.
So there's 2 fictional. There might even be more fictional ones, but yeah, that's how I knew. But then you probably have told me since as well.
Yeah,
And
more
I've
than
been
likely.
I knew that.
I keep going on about it. Honestly, it's one of the
Because
only
it's
facts
ridiculous,
I know.
because it's a mythical creature.
It's like, what national animal do you want? Imagine every country went
Just
round.
make one up.
And everyone was like, oh yeah, can we have a bear? Yep, okay,
Yeah.
the bear.
Lion.
Yep, lion.
Wolf. All the cool ones.
Sorted. And
Yeah.
then Scotland's just like, you as Wales, let's just sit back and let everyone pick their animals.
Yeah, we'll have what's left.
Scotland and Wales were at the end and they just went, unicorn,
Yep.
dragon, and everyone else in the room was like, we could pick mythical animals? What?
Tell us this.
No, can we pick again? No, it's too late. It's tea in about 20 minutes and we haven't got the time to go through everyone again.
Yeah.
I don't know why Scotland and Wales would be at the end and not like, Zaire or somewhere like that instead, but...
I don't know.
Or Zimbabwe, which
When
will
did
come
it
after
become a
Zaire.
thing anyway? When did it become a thing to have like a national symbol like that?
I don't know.
What's it used for? Like what?
Um,
I'll tell you.
Right, India,
I'll tell you. The only place that'll ever be used is when you move to another country to go and live there and work there, and you have to do. I know when you come to England, you have to do loads of tests.
the
to prove that you know
test.
about that's what it's called, citizenship test. So you have to prove that you know all about England, and it's ridiculous. I knew somebody who was South African who moved over, and she had to do it, and she said it was ridiculous questions. She asked me some of the questions, and I have been born here, lived here for 42 years nearly, and I didn't know the answers to a lot of them, and which I think is ridiculous, because if I've lived here all my life and I don't know the answers, why do you expect somebody to know the answers who's never lived here?
It is quite.
But I bet that's on the test.
Yeah.
What's the national animal?
What's the national animal?
It's just
of each
useless
country?
information that you don't need to know about
I
England.
don't know what's so the national animal of England is the lion, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is the lion.
Yeah, 3 lines on the shirt.
I used to get people at school saying that to me a lot. Yeah, 3 lines on a shirt. Well, have your 1 line. So also Scotland has the lion rampant, which is just a single lion as well on our flag. And I get kids at school being like,
really?
our 3 lines could have your 1 line any day. and like, what do you say to that? It's like, okay. I ended up saying to people, yeah, well, you need 3 lines and we only need 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, what? So what?
Who cares? We haven't really got a lion that fights for our country.
And we've got a unicorn.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about that?
Screw you.
Oh, dear. But yeah. Where were we? Yeah.
So she's given birth to... Well, she's dead, but the baby's been born.
Yeah.
What are we going to call it? What would it be? A hybrid human and
Uniman?
baby corn?
A baby corn.
Baby corn.
Baby corn.
It's corn.
You said baby corn, and I swear to God, it took my brain about 5 minutes to realise it. So my cousin Gary, right? He went to a restaurant once and they served mini corn on a cob, and you could just eat it whole.
Yeah.
Gary had never had mini corn before in his life.
Oh no, I know what you're going to say.
And he picked it up. And he was nibbling off the little corn on the side. Fucking idiot. Anyway.
Anyway, that was the end. Bye.
That was the end. Yeah, bye. So we start talking about our categories now.
Yes, shall we?
Because we've just
people
spoken
got
for
stuff
about
to do.
50 minutes. We've talked for 50 minutes.
And before we started recording this, we was like, the synopsis will just be really quick this time.
There's not a lot that happened.
But we've gone on for so many tangents, it's taken longer than normal.
Right.
Okay.
So we're talking about the bad things in the movie now, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about the supporting cast.
Yep.
Right. Who have you got for your worst supporting cast member?
Right. Originally, I had the mum because I just thought she was totally pointless, the stripper mum.
Yeah.
I thought she was a bit pointless. Why did she need to be in there? I guess she needed to be in there just to say you've got to look after your brother.
Yeah.
But she was annoying and she was a bit pointless. But then when we met Cowboy Cool,
Oh, okay.
he was the worst for me because I've just written in my notes why. Why did he have the big head?
Yeah.
Like there was just no explanation for it. And yeah, I just didn't understand his character.
And do you know what I also found about him? Like, he had this great big head on, and
Yeah.
every single line he said was really muffled by the head.
Yeah.
Why?
Exactly. Why did you need to wear that?
Just do a voiceover
If you need a
for him or
disguise, there's other disguises you could wear that would be less ridiculous. Just get those glasses with the fake nose. That tricks people every time.
So, have I ever told you this? When I was in college doing performing arts, right, we did a subject with the local media, the kids on the media course.
Yeah.
And we wrote a film.
Yeah.
And they had to produce it. So they'd had directors and sound and all
Yeah.
that sort of thing. And we wrote a parody of Scream.
Oh, okay.
I can't even remember what we called it now. But basically, instead of like the ghost face mask, we had the Groucho Marx glasses.
I think you
and
have told me
nose.
this. Yeah.
And it was awful. It
Yeah.
was awful. It was really bad. But yeah, when you said that, it just reminded me of it. So there you go.
So that's what they could have gone with.
Footage does not exist of that anymore. Otherwise, I would put it up.
Put it on social media.
Yeah, but no.
So who was your worst supporting cast?
My worst supporting cast was the well, I put them down initially as the French couple at the party because then I found out they were a Canadian couple, and it was just like them like again why.
Yeah.
Why
There's no
put
real
in,
point to their characters.
They could have been from anywhere in the world. Why make them French Canadian? And the
With
thing
awful
is as
accents as well.
Terrible accents, but they also made them out like they were French at first because they were like really shitting on everything American. And I
Yeah.
don't know if Canadians specifically shit on American things, but
no
they were
idea.
being really like. They were looking at the food at the party and they were being really picky on it. They were like,
Oh,
"You
and
call this coffee? This is
Yeah.
shit coffee." And
she was saying, "Oh, you like wine and cheese," but it was that
"Yeah,
American
you
cheese,
must like wine and
which,
cheese."
by the way, America isn't cheese.
Yeah, it's not. It's not cheese. I mean, they do sell other cheese than just this.
I think you can get actual cheese in America, but
Apparently.
But
If
whenever
are
you see
in America,
any-
send
yeah.
us cheese.
but if you,
cheese.
no, we need to send you some cheese. Whenever you watch any like recipes online
Yeah.
and they're American, it's either squeezed out of a tube, which you should not be squeezing cheese out of a tube, and it's really bright orange, or it's like the burger slices, the cheese slices you put in
American
burgers.
cheese. This is
That's what we see over here. So please, if there's any American listeners and you do actually have real cheese, like as in a block of cheese that you slice or grate, please let us know, because when we see anything American, the cheese isn't what we know as cheese.
Yeah, but it's like
If you watch Man v Food, it's always
that.
horrible, like,
yeah.
that's not cheese. Cheese
And
is
I'm
so
pretty
nice.
sure because I watch Binging with Babish on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he uses proper cheese.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you must be able to get proper cheese in America.
I know you can.
but we don't see it in any...
It's one of those like things that exist in the world, isn't it? You think America just has that square yellowy orange cheese. Just like if you watch TV, American TV, everybody lives in those massive suburban mansion houses.
Yeah.
And
actually they
every teenager's got a full beard. You know, and they're like
they're
30
25,
years old.
yeah. But they also, Americans think that we all live in a castle. We've got a castle each basically over here, which we have. So
I mean, we're only just discovering that Americans have ice cream vans, for God's sake.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I say only just. That was some time ago we discovered it.
Anyway,
but-
what we're basically doing here is we're just trying to bag ourselves a trip to America. So if anyone hears us and they think, oh, these two need educating, fly them over and we'll show them what America's all about. We're happy to.
Oh, 100%. That'd be great. Could you imagine just going and doing an I See Bad Movies tour? Just visiting visiting America and going into all the old like movie theaters and watching movies.
Yeah.
But bad movies.
Anyway,
Sorry, I was imagining it there.
Just hinting for that, you know.
Just hint,
no
hint.
pressure.
Yeah. If anyone would like to sponsor that, nudge, nudge.
Anyway, if you're American, what's your favourite type of cheese? Orange cheese.
Orange cheese. Oh.
Right, anyway, moving on, because we
Moving
are
on, we are waffling
this.
big time.
What about special effects? Do you want to do that next?
Yeah, okay, let's do special effects next.
Okay, so the bad special effects.
Yep.
Okay, so my worst one, and it really was the worst one, I think, is I think it is the guy that punches the arrow out of the way. So he tries to kill him with the bow and arrow.
Oh yeah.
He punches the arrow out of the way, which by the way is brilliant, because who can ever do that? Punch an arrow out of the way. So that's, and by the way, that is a tip. That's a survival tip. If anyone ever shoots an arrow at you, just punch it out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah, you haven't seen Game of Thrones, have you?
No.
So there's a bit in like Game of Thrones in one of the later seasons when someone's like having to run across a battlefield while someone's firing arrows at them, and you'd think you'd maybe go left to right a bit. Yeah. Just runs in a straight line.
Wow.
Just runs in a straight line.
Well, it doesn't get hit.
Oh, it does get hit. Does get hit.
But it doesn't even try to not get hit.
Doesn't even try not to get hit. But what they should have done is taken a leaf out of this guy's book, just turned around and punched the arrow.
Punched all of the arrows out of the way.
Quite possibly, if they punched it hard enough, they'd have sent the arrow back. Yeah,
stand still and just punch and you're done. But yeah, that guy, the guy that you described as angry American.
Yeah.
He, so the unicorn can't get him with his bow and arrow, but later on he just punches him in the face. But it's clearly a dummy and it just like deflates as he punches it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that was the worst special effect, I think, because it was so... I mean, let's be honest, the other special effects in this movie, a lot of them are actually quite good. So we've got lots to talk about the good stuff. But yeah, so this was, in comparison, this was awful because other ones had been really good and actually looked quite realistic. So this was pretty bad.
I 100% agree. I put this down as in my worst special effect as well. And literally I put... This is the first one that's clearly, obviously, really bad. There are other ones that have been so good. Yeah. Like, but this one is just the worst. And whoever did the special effects on this film, for whatever budget you had, I'm sorry, but they did an amazing job. Yeah. And I'm absolutely an amazing job.
It was pretty impressive. Yeah. Compared to, and also we've watched a lot of bad movies and special effects like this and prosthetics and makeup and stuff is the one thing that we laugh at the most probably. Yeah. And this was actually quite convincing on a lot of the...
It really was. It
deaths,
really was. I mean, there was one that I can't talk about now because it's going to be on the good side, but it was just like so instant, so quick, so fast, such a seamless cut as well. I think I literally turned to you at one point and went, "Oh my God, did you see that?" Yeah, and you didn't, because you were making notes. I looked down and you're furiously typing away. Because honestly, we had to type so many notes for this film. It was in a good way as well, not just in the bad stuff.
To be honest, I didn't think we were going to beat last week. Yeah. I don't know if we have beaten last week, but I didn't write this many notes last week. There's lots of things that I was like, oh, we need to make a note of that. We need to make a note of that. So yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, and it's stuff. And actually, I think this is one of the weeks where we've had something for all of our topics for a while. Yeah. Actually, which has been really, really lucky. So you had that as well for special effects. Yeah, I did have that. Yeah, that was awful. Yeah. What about lines? Oh well, lines. So I've got quite a lot of bad lines written down. So have I. Right. So here's my first one. And this is from the Stifler character, Preston. Yep. This is our first introduction to him, basically. "Hey, sugar tits, want to show me your titties?" That was the first girl that we saw him talk to, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah. So he's got the Mardi Gras beads on. Yes. And he's at a house party and he's just and not many people either. Yep. And he's basically just going around offering beads for them to do like they do at Mardi Gras and flash their boobs. Yeah. And that's our first introduction to him. Hey, sugar tits. Honestly, sugar tits. Oh, it just, it's so cringe. What about you? Oh, I've got so many written down, and I don't know if some of them are put down as good or bad. The bad ones I've got he's definitely the best pizza guy I've met at this party. I've also got...
to be fair, I thought that line was delivered well.
Yeah, and then the
awful.
angry American, as you describe him.
Yeah.
So he finds out that the French couple are French-Canadian, and he just goes, fucking Canadians.
I think that was quite on a par with something like...
It's just like...
shit in my mouth. It was
Yeah.
just really nicely off the cuff.
And then also... Oh, and then the unicorn at one point says, you must be this tall to die. So it's like, I can't remember who he says it to. Is it the little kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be the kid. Yeah, you must be this tall to die. But he says he's also got a very good line that obviously we'll talk about on the flip side. And then I've got one from the sex scene, but I don't know whether it's good or bad. I don't know if you've got this one.
No, go
but
on.
When they're having sex, he says, "Nay for me, you fucking slut."
Jake gives some
How to
real
kill the
daddy
mood.
vibes on that one, isn't he?
Yeah.
My God.
He's got his hoof on her back, and he's asking her to neigh for him.
Nay for me, you slut.
I mean, you're getting to the point where you're calling someone a fucking slut. There's not a lot of respect there.
There's not a lot of respect. Unless,
I don't think it's a relationship he's looking for.
You know, if Diana had said, "Tell me to neigh for you, you fucking slut," then fine, because she's there's consensual stuff going on there. But no, Diana was not asking for that at all. She was looking for a loving moment with a unicorn.
I think she wanted to settle down with the unicorn because she's obsessed with unicorns.
Yeah.
But
this unicorn
he's not looking for a relationship. He's not that kind of guy.
That unicorn was DTF and only that. And only that.
I don't know if did you notice that one or would you?
I'm not going to lie, there were a lot of things that you said during that
on.
sex scene that I thought, I just can't say this out loud.
There's one other that is got to be in the bad category.
Go on.
And it's Laurie says to the pizza guy, she comes out of a lot of like, I guess sexual innuendo, but like in pizza speak. And at one point she says, he can hand toss my tits and bone my calzone.
That's exactly one of the ones that I had. You can hand toss my tits and bone my calzone.
Yeah, it's just cringe.
Oh, so I shouldn't use... Okay, fine. All right,
just keep taking your notes.
Keep taking notes. I also said, because at one point they're talking to the French couple, the French-Canadian couple, Diana, the host, is like, because they're shitting on all the food, and then she goes, "Oh, do you like ratatouille?" And then we have this moment where they're like, "Oh, it's a simple dish, but
that is like their accents.
It's okay." Oh, I was actually doing my good French accent.
Oh no, it's nothing like them.
But
are you doing French or French Canadian?
Oh, I'm doing French Swiss.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. See, that's why I'm getting it wrong. It's a simple dish, but it's okay. Yeah, we can have ratatouille. We like ratatouille. and then she goes, "Oh yeah, that we could totally watch that movie."
Oh yeah, she does, doesn't she? Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to die inside.
You've just woken up the dog doing that.
And then the only other bad line I had was, "How many boobs have you seen tonight?" 7.
7, yeah.
And then the kind of confused look.
I think you just woke Milo up when you did your feet. He was sleeping and then he's just like, "What's going on?"
I'm so sorry, Milo. I'm so sorry. All right. What have we done? So we've done line, we've done supporting cast, we've done special effects.
So we haven't done actress and we haven't done death.
All right. What one do you want to do first?
Actress.
Okay, go on.
Well, okay. So my worst actress, I think, was your best actress.
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
So maybe actually, do you know what? The worst actress was probably the main character,
Laurie,
because she was so annoying and she kept saying hashtag everything. Like everything she said was a hashtag before it, and it was really getting on our tits.
Yeah.
On our 7 tits.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. I mean, after watching Laurie, my tits were hand tossed.
It was getting on my uni tit.
and not in a good way. You know, there's no. It was so frustrating. Oh,
she was just very annoying, wasn't she?
She was, yeah.
So yeah, she was annoying and also really desperate with the pizza guy, and I can't stand it when people are desperate. It's just like literally pretty much begging him to have sex with her. There's nothing more unattractive.
But that's the thing that gets me as well, right? When you're the writer and the director of a movie and you put yourself in a part where a woman is basically begging you for sex, that just is like, oh, it just seems really horrid.
A bit narcissistic, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also so she's all the way along, it's so obvious that she's trying to get him into bed.
Yeah.
And then at the end, she literally spells it out for him, like, yeah, I want to have sex with you. And he's like, oh, you want to have sex with me? I didn't realise, just been talking about pizza the whole night. And it's like, oh, come on. But yeah, she's very irritating.
She is. And I think it's that kind of, it's also all of the tweeting, like the phone's never out of our hand. That does get mentioned quite a lot in the film as well.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's the character, is just literally that. But you could do so much more with it. You could have so much more fun. And I think this is one of those movies where if you remade this movie with like a Hollywood budget and like a Hollywood cast, you could actually have like a really hilarious, really well polished comedy movie. I think you could.
Yeah.
But it just struggles with people like her, who just isn't hitting the comedy moments properly.
But I think this is a thing that we've discussed this before. If you took the exact same movie, same concept, same script and everything, but you cast it with decent actors, comedy actors who did it really well, you could actually make it a really good film.
Yeah, you could.
But obviously, in these low budget movies, they're not,
you get the best of what you get.
They're wannabe actors, aren't they? They're not like...
How are you going to talk someone like Margot Robbie into having sex with a unicorn?
You're not.
You're not. Absolutely. That's not going to happen.
There's never going to be a point in her career where she needs to do that, is there?
No.
But wouldn't it be brilliant though? What a project if some director came up with, look, I've got all of these really shit films. Let's get these like top stars on board and remake them.
That would be so
amazing.
Good. Absolutely amazing. Just like, what an idea.
Yeah.
It'll never happen.
It will never happen, but
just remaking all these low budget movies.
Yeah. But with Hollywood stars.
Giving them proper funding and proper...
Get people in there like Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie. Like, let's get some decent names in there and make them again. And with like... would you make the props better, or would you keep it just as shit and then that'd be funnier?
I think you'd still make everything better. So, like, Duke the Unicorn would
actually
be
walk
able
and
to
stuff.
move. He would be firing.
You'd see him shoot the bow.
You'd see him doing all that,
using his little hooves.
Rather than, or is it more charm?
The sex scene could be quite graphic if it was CGI'd, couldn't it? And that's making me cringe quite a lot. Because it was just like a, I don't know, fiberglass object.
Winning the Oscar this year. Could you imagine? And the nominations for Best Actress are, and it cuts to like some A-list actress.
Yeah.
And it's the sex scene.
Yeah.
And you just see the CGI hoof. Nay for me, you fucking slut. Voiced by Robert De Niro.
David, if I ever meet any of your future girlfriends and they say to me, yeah, I really like him, but he says some weird shit in bed, I'm going to be angry with you, okay?
It's like, David, I think we're at that point in our relationship where we can talk about fantasies with each other. Well, sit down, dear.
How long have you got?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, but anyway, that is an idea worth pursuing. If you're a Hollywood director, producer, please take this idea. Give me credit for it and pay me lots of money for it, because it was my idea.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But please, can you make these movies again with a decent cast and decent props and CGI, because they would be amazing.
Yeah.
And then we can review them over in Hollywood.
At the premiere.
Because it was my idea, so they fly us over there. We
could interview people on the red carpet.
Yes.
At the movie premiere. And also sit down on the press junkets with them and interview and have exclusives.
Yes, exclusives.
Let's make this happen. Let's make this happen. Right. Okay, so the last thing we've got to talk about is worst death.
Death. Right,
I
hold
know what
on. I've
you've
got a
for this one,
lot
so
of deaths in here.
Yeah. I've got a lot of good deaths.
Oh, one of my bad ones was, so yeah, you mentioned earlier that when Duke is outside the party before he gets in,
Yeah.
he's killing people that are outside. There's two guys outside the front door, and he picks up like is it a flamingo
Yeah,
garden
it's a garden
ornament?
flamingo, yeah.
Yeah, he picks that up and throws that into one of their back. Does it go through both of them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
so-
only see it go in one, but both
So
of them
they're facing
die.
each other, so
Yeah.
it goes through the back of the guy, like you can see, and through to his friend. But then that must get pulled back out again because you just see all their intestines like fall out. But it's
Yeah.
like a string of sausages. It's just really gross.
Sausages.
So yeah, that was probably because we've had some really good special effects on the other deaths. That was
Yeah.
pretty bad. Obviously, the guy getting punched in the face, that was really bad death because it was just so bad. Like the special effects were so bad. Yeah, you also mentioned the slicing of the pizza boy's face with a pizza slice.
Yeah.
And I've put down here, how did he grip it with his hooves? How did he grip a little pizza slice with his hooves?
That's it. We just have to pretend.
Yeah.
It's magic.
And it's not actually cutting him, it's just going over his face and he's got a bloody eye.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
You don't actually see it slice up.
Yeah.
So that was pretty poor.
It was. And we had...
and there was one where there was a knife. It was the sister's boyfriend when he got out of the car.
Oh,
He
yeah.
throws a knife, but it doesn't look like a knife, does it? It's a black...
It's like
a weird blade.
Yeah,
it's not a sword.
a sheet of metal.
Yeah.
Rather than a sword or anything. It's just a sheet of metal that just kind of... It's a bit of a bad cut as well, because it kind of just appears in his head.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you know, fine. But the thing is, again, later in the movie, they prove that they can do, like, quick cut to, like, a model of a head being damaged. You know, I mean, you know, there's a bit where you see a guy get killed and he's talking, and then the next thing you know, he's dead in a very specific way.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect cut, and it's absolutely spot on, and there's no flaws to it. But then there's other ones like that where you just kind of like have it kind of, and all of a sudden cut, and there's a metal bar in someone's head. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I also had down, is it Diana?
Yeah.
The party host.
I thought that was your most. Like,
yeah, I think that was
disappointing
probably
death.
disappointing. Yeah, that's the right word, I think, because after they have sex and he kind of is almost shaming her for having sex with him, the way she dies is just like he just punches her in the face with his hooves over and over again.
Yeah.
It's just really boring.
And this is a guy who has, you know, stabbed people with his horn. He's
been really creative up until then, hasn't he?
He's used like garrote to kill people.
Yeah.
He's used ninja stars to kill people.
Yeah.
All sorts.
He's switched it up. He's kept them on their toes. He's kept it interesting.
I mean, he literally kept that on his toes by pummeling her to death with them.
But yeah, it was really weird to have that like really long sex scene, and then the way he kills her is really disappointingly rubbish.
I like that. Has this really long sex scene with her, but then the way he kills her is disappointing.
It's like, well, it's because it's...
It would be far more satisfying if it was a great death
You'd
after
think,
sex.
I thought when she went into that room, he was going to, like... Well, because we hadn't seen the sex scene, had we, before? I just thought he just killed her.
Yeah.
But I thought it would be in a... Because she was so obsessed with unicorn stuff, I thought he would really go to town on her and like really do his worst. He did go down on her in a different way. But then, it's like I think he'd used up all his energy, hadn't he, having sex with her, and then was like,
maybe.
"Oh, I'll just punch this one."
I'll just
stand on her head a little
I'm
bit.
a bit tired. I just want to roll over and
We've
go to
just done
sleep.
every position you can imagine. I need a cigarette and a sleep.
He doesn't even get his cigarette till much later.
Not till
in the
later,
car.
yeah. Oh, that would have been brilliant if they'd have just panned him in the bed, just smoking.
Yeah, and her beside her just like, what happened? That would have been so much better.
That would have been brilliant.
Yeah. Aww.
So what did you have for your worst deaths?
My worst death was at the very beginning. There's a clown called Jacko. Yeah, Jacko the clown.
Yes, he's not in it for long, is he?
He's really not in it for long. And he's the first death, and he's like, he sees the unicorn, and he's like, hey, aren't you supposed to be on the carousel?
By the way, he does talk exactly like that as well.
It's exact. That is the best impersonation of anyone I've ever done. And honestly, and I excel at excel at impersonations.
Okay.
Here's my Robert De Niro.
Okay.
It's silent, so I'm sorry, listeners, but for Emma's benefit.
Okay, that needs to be a social media post.
That is Robert De Niro
Yeah.
in anything from Meet the Fockers onwards.
Okay. Okay, what we'll have to do,
I had
listeners...
nipples, Greg. Could you milk me? I can't do the voice. That's the
No,
trouble.
you can't.
There you go.
But we'll do a video.
Yeah,
Put it on social media. Yeah, so I did have that one down as well about the clown because...
he just stabs the clown through the neck with his horn.
Yeah.
But the actor playing the clown is doing like a sort of twitching thing. But you can see he's doing it just to...
He's just literally spitting out the fake blood.
Spit it out.
Yeah. He's basically just spitting it out.
It doesn't look great.
Yeah.
It doesn't look great.
But there's so many, like, honestly, there's so many deaths in this film that I was just frantically, like, noting them down. And then I was thinking, I don't know which ones I put in good and which ones I put in bad. But I think I have definitely got one down for good. So obviously we can't talk about that because that's on the flip side. But yeah, lots of bad ones. Lots of... it was a bit of a mixed bag, wasn't it, with deaths? Because it was like he either really went to a lot of effort and switched it up and made it interesting.
I was just mentally counting them in my head. I think there was like 15 deaths in this movie
in an
hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's a lot of deaths.
That is a lot of deaths.
It's a busy unicorn.
Yeah. And a lot of them
And he even had time for sex in between it all.
Wow.
Quite long sex as well.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to give it to
impressive.
the guy. Well, I mean, he gave it to Diana, I suppose, but it's very impressive.
But yeah, it was...
We all need a unicorn in our lives. Anyway.
So I think that's all our categories, isn't it?
It is, actually.
I mean, if anyone's still listening after we've whittled on... There was just a lot to discuss in this film, I think.
There was so much to discuss. I was like, I don't think the synopsis is going to take us long to talk about.
Yeah.
But there was a hell of a lot to get through. All right, so let's score this movie and we'll give the listeners a bit of time to recuperate.
Yes.
Right. What are you giving this out of 5?
I don't know. I was thinking 3.
Okay.
But I don't know if to give it 3.5.
Right.
I think I'm going to give it... I think I was thinking 3 out of 5 because it was better than I remembered in terms of like stuff going on, and because this was a long time ago we watched it, but also we've watched the extended version now, which we didn't know existed.
Yeah. But it's not advertised as the extended version.
No. And the one we watched wasn't advertised as a cut version, was it?
It's just got more to it. I wonder if it was something to do with getting it on Prime. They had to
maybe,
cut some of the animal human sex stuff, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, but now it's on this PLEX. PLEX
Anything
clearly
goes,
is far more relaxed.
Far more.
Unicorns on farm animals. It doesn't
They're not,
work.
are they? No.
It doesn't work.
I tried. Yeah, I think I might stick at 3.5. So 3 because it was more entertaining than I remember it, and the half because we got the added bonus scenes that I kind of wish I hadn't watched, but also I'm telling the listeners to watch it for the extended version.
Yeah.
And just the bit at the end with the baby as well. Like, it was just like...
Yeah.
Although I predicted it, I was still like, what, they actually did that?
Yeah.
That was just my silly prediction. Like, I was only like talking shit and they've actually done it. Yeah. What about you?
This may actually surprise you.
Okay.
But in terms of out of 5 on a bad movie scale, and the fact that I have had just as much fun talking about it as I did watching it.
Yeah.
And also, like, turning round and looking at you at one point, just agog is the only word I can describe it. And in the same scene going on long enough for me to go back to watching it, and then you look at me and I have the same look on my face. I'm actually giving this 5 stars out of 5.
We're giving it 5?
I'm giving this a 5.
Our first 5?
In terms of a bad movie.
I am surprised by that. I thought you were going to do a 4, and then I was like, is it on par with Killer Sofa? Yeah, probably.
Do you know what? I think this actually tops Killer Sofa for me. Not for this, like, Killer Sofa I thought was really great, again, because actually it explains the storyline. It covers the bases. I mean, it's a weird storyline, and it has a lot of character in the sofa as well, which I loved. You don't get that with a unicorn. There's no explanation or whatever.
That's the one thing with this.
But that's not the point of this film. This film isn't trying to give us reasons. It's just there literally to say, here's a load of people being murdered by a unicorn.
Yeah.
And
that's
gives
what you get.
that. It gives you that. And some of the murders are great.
Yeah.
Some of them are great.
I guess that's the only thing that lets it down for me, having watched Rubber and Killer Sofa.
Yeah.
Is... my mind is still boggled by this, but we keep saying it, but they had characters and they had expressions, even though the tire didn't have a face. So how they achieved that, I don't know, but that was the thing with this. The unicorn was a bit wooden. No, but he actually had a face.
Yeah.
Like he was actually an animal.
Yeah.
And yet he had no expression. They didn't animate him at all. He
That's
just
right.
he kind of floated across the screen if you did see him move. It wasn't like they made his legs actually walk and things like that. But also you got no expression on his face. And he spoke as well. So Killer Sofa and Rubber didn't speak, did they? No.
And I think as well, I think because you're getting like a narrative from it, and I mean, this film is full of absolutely awful puns.
Yeah.
Full of them. And it just embraces it and enjoys it. And it just has fun with it. And I like that. I mean, I
guess it's not pretending to be a decent movie, is it, this one? It knows what it is.
There are other movies that we've seen and might come up in future seasons.
Yeah. That you can see they're desperately trying to make a good movie, or they think they have made a good movie.
Yeah. And it takes me back to like Killer Tomatoes, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. That was trying to be a spoof movie and a funny spoof movie, but it just
wasn't.
It just fell apart because it was trying too hard. This one isn't trying to do anything other than...
This one isn't trying.
It's just not trying to do anything other than say, like, whoever's written and directed it clearly knows someone who can do very decent special effects and is like, what can we do with it?
Yeah.
It seems like you know, they've found a unicorn in a car boot sale or a yard sale or something. Yeah. And like, shit, I know what to do with that. And this film was built up along that, and I love that. I know I didn't give Rubber a 4 out of 5. I know I didn't give Killer Sofa a 5 out of 5, even though I enjoyed it. But this one, I'm just like, this is hilarious. I think I could honestly watch it again.
Yeah. But you'd have to watch the extended version.
Yeah, just for the sake.
But also, to be fair, it has given us loads of content. Whereas some movies we watch, we're struggling on certain categories of, we haven't got anything for this, or I've never written as many notes. So I guess you've got to give it its dues. But I think I'm sticking at 3.5.
Oh, I'm not trying to make you change your mind. I get why it's a 3.5 movie as well. I get that. I do.
But I'd love to hear if anyone's watched it, or if anyone is going to watch it, what they think of it and what they would rate it. Because I think it's one of those movies where it's going to be quite a split.
Yes.
Opinions on it.
Yeah, some people will watch it and they will. I agree. Some people watch it and want to turn it off. Yeah. I get that. Yeah, definitely. Right. So, thank you so much for listening.
If you've persevered for all of that, well done.
Yeah. If you watch the movie off the back of this, please let us know. Let us know what you think. Am I completely wrong giving it 5 stars? Is Emma right giving it 3.5? Would you score it less? Please let us know.
What were your favourite bits?
Yeah. Do you agree that... do you agree with anything we've said?
Do you agree with anything?
do you agree that the earth is round? Then we can be friends. Please do come and join us on social media. It's there. It's waiting for you. Also... I know I said this in the last episode, but if you get a chance to drop us a review, and please bear in mind, the last episode hasn't aired whilst we're recording this one. So if you have left us a review since the last episode, I love you. Nay for me, you rate me, you fucking sluts. So if you have left us a review, thank you very, very much. If you're umming and ahhing about leaving us a review, please do. We'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's a goodbye from me.
And a goodbye from me.